Up there, who in the hell is Mel Kiper in a way? I mean, here's a guy that criticizes everybody, whoever they take. He's got the answers to who you should take and who you shouldn't take. In my knowledge of him, he's never ever put on a jockstrap. He's never been a coach. He's never been a scout. He's never been an administrator. And all of a sudden, he's an expert.
Atlanta has selected Brett Favre, quarterback, Southern Mississippi.
So Atlanta gets a favor by selecting Brett Favre from Southern Mississippi.
Ron tackled Tony Mandarich, Michigan State. Next up, Detroit
Lions. No
Lions.
doubt about that one.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback from California.
I honestly think Brian Brohm 2 years from now could be the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. It would not shock me at all. And
with the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback.
Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Draft Day presented by Game On Wisconsin. Thank you so much for joining us again today. We are just less than a week now from an actual draft day. But until then, we're going to talk almost zero about actual NFL draft football coverage. And we're going to talk almost entirely about stupid bullcrap here on this sports channel. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your commissioner, Dan Koenig. Thanks for joining me again today. I've got a wonderful crew here for our cookout episode of Draft Day. Let's start with, the headliner right here, right below me. Headliner. Look. Well, no offense, Nick. You're a close second, Nick. But but Wendi Hansen joining us from the Wisconsin Sports Heroics. Thank you so much, Wendi, for joining us. How are you doing? Welcome into Draft Day.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me tonight.
For sure. I wanna ask, how excited were you, since we're doing cookout foods we're doing cookout items tonight, when they announced that the Brewers were going to be allowing tailgating to come back? What was the reaction like for you?
Tailgating is back, baby. Oh my gosh. I cannot even tell you. Going to Brewers games at AmFam Field.
It'll always be Miller Park.
It'll always
Pour
be
one out.
Park.
Rest in peace.
Exactly. But it's all about the tailgating experience. I feel like that's such an integral part of the experience, and to have that back, it made my heart so happy. So I live in Colorado, and I'm making a trip up to Wisconsin this summer. So I plan on taking full advantage of that.
Nice. I can appreciate that. I honestly, I didn't realize that tailgating was that big that has to just be ML or Brewers, right? I've lived in Cincinnati. I've gone to Cleveland. I live a couple blocks from Comerica. There's no tailgating atmosphere whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I think it's very much a central to the Brewers. I've been to, probably 12 different stadiums around the country, and some have some sort of tailgating, but it's not near as robust or to the level that the Brewers bring it. So that's something that's pretty special.
It's pretty on brand for Wisconsin. Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Making his official debut on the show, producer Nick down here in the corner, filling in, getting the emergency backup goalie call. Nick, did you ever expect, when you were doing this, with doing the shows, with me, Todd, and Jimmy, that we were ever going to actually invite you on, or did you even want to join and be associated fully on screen with this bullcrap that we do?
I don't know. It's just more comfortability with speaking on camera. I'm not used to this. I worked in radio, and podcasting usually doesn't have anything to do with video. So I don't know. I totally feel unprepared, because as far as cookouts, I don't know, Dan, there's no way you're finishing last this week in this draft. I feel totally unprepared, because I have ideas of what should be at a cookout, but you guys are all probably going to pick things oh yeah.
No. See, what that means is that Nick is guaranteed to win this draft, because that's what happens every time someone comes in here. Janelle came in here for the ice cream draft and was like, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to to win. I'm just trying not to lose. And she blew everybody out. And Nick's going to try and play it cool. He'll come in. He'll destroy everybody when we throw up the voting. I will say I'm on a 2-game win streak right now with my voting. Star Wars and superheroes and chocolate. I've been on a hot streak recently. Todd, you're here as well.
That's true. Yep.
Cool. No, Todd, welcome in, man. I'm glad to always have you back in, even though you will constantly find ways to mess up the show.
Look, I'm going to put an asterisk next to your Star Wars win because you at the last minute pulled me knowing full well I was probably going to win that.
Bullshit. You did. No. You know for sure that you were not going to win that. You've never. How many Star Wars movies have you seen, Todd? I just want to. We'll just throw.
What
that
did you
out there.
just get done saying? The person that's the least prepared and knows the least has won before. I mean, that pretty much puts my name on that trophy.
No, I refuse. I refuse to accept anything in that kind of realm. All right, guys. So Nick, I apologize for making you do this because you're also taking care of our behind the scenes stuff as well as the producer. You're double fisting here tonight, so we'll try to make it easy on you. But we are obligated before we jump into our fantasy draft of cookout items to give the 30 seconds of actual NFL draft coverage, courtesy of our friend Andrew Mertig for here at Game On Wisconsin. So, Nick, if you wouldn't mind firing off our 30 seconds of actual NFL draft coverage.
This week I'm talking about safeties, and there's certainly a lot of diverse skill sets in this year's class. If you like guys that can play center field and then drop down into the slot, there's Trevon Merrick from TCU, there's Javon Holland from Oregon. If you like those rangy safeties that can play over the top, there's Richie Grant from UCF and Andre Cisco from Syracuse. Maybe you like box safeties, there's Talona Hufanga from USC, and there's Hamza Nasruddin from Florida State. Not a ton of top-end talent in this draft, but there are some good depth players on day 3. Back to you, Dan.
Thank you again, always, Andrew, for doing that for us, making us somewhat credible.
You have just sucked the life out of that poor guy. His first one.
I don't think it was me.
His first couple, when you didn't have him totally reined in on the 30 seconds.
I
gave him a little wiggle room.
No,
he was great.
No.
You backed on him. You backed on him. Talked about how he was going overtime, and now he's just like, okay, fine.
No, I refuse. Todd, thank you for telling me that you don't watch the show every week not telling me that you didn't watch the show every week. There were 3 weeks in a row that I give him 30 seconds of coverage. And there were a couple times where he spent 20 seconds talking about actual draft stuff and then 10 seconds of trying to kiss up to me. So I don't want to hear that I've broken his spirit somehow. No. I think Andrew is just. I think he's not mailing it in, but we're almost the actual draft. The shininess around this show has sort of worn off. The veneer is being worn off of being on this show. So with that said, thank you guys for coming on and doing this. We are doing cookout items today. This is going to be, I'm interested to see how this one plays out because it's the first category that we're doing where I feel like there is actual roles you need to fill on a team. Like before when we did music and we did chocolate and whatever, it's like you just drop your top 5. But here it's like I feel like you have to get a protein, you have to get some sides, you got to get a dessert, and you got to get some kind of drinks. Right. So I hope you guys have your big boards planned out accordingly. We're going to see in the first round here how everybody values the different categories of the show. Nick, if you wouldn't mind throwing up our rules of engagement for draft day real quick. I know that most of us are familiar with it. Wendy's a little bit new, though. So your draft day rules number 1, no trades. That's the Todd Varney rule number 1. The second Todd Varney rule is straight from the category at your own risk. With Todd being here, that one becomes especially in play. And then number 3 is, of course, have fun. Feel like that's the motto of my Detroit Tigers this year is don't worry about winning. We're just going to have fun. Todd, Nick, you know about queuing. Surprisingly.
Uniforms and everything, huh? Wow.
A stadium. There's like hot dogs you can go buy there, and they're playing with real bats. Not
Incredible.
like wiffle balls.
I will say that opening day shot of Miggy hitting the bomb in the snow. That's going to be priceless. That's incredible.
Just inject it right into my veins, baby. Yeah. I love that. Wendi, you're going to be drafting first. You're going to have that first pick of the draft here. Okay. We'll throw Nick second, Todd third. I'll go fourth. Wendi, we do have some imaging to cue before your pick, so make sure before you make the pick that you cue Nick on our wonderful imaging. Nick, you want to play that for us real quick? Perfect. So Wendi, that's really the only rule throughout the show is make sure you cue Nick for that because we paid a lot for that to be produced, as you can tell. We want to get the most out of it. So Wendi, kick us off in our cookout draft. You're going to set the tone here for the first round and probably the rest of the draft here with this pick. So the floor is yours, Wendi.
Oh, God, no pressure. Okay. So the protein, I being from Wisconsin, I feel like the natural choice would be the beer brat. That is an absolute staple, 100%. So, shoot, Nick.
Always happens once a show. But the beer brat. All right. Mm-hmm. So beer brat. So we're just doing. So I think that means we're going to take brats off the table in general. Obviously, I think that fits the whole category because then brats are such a ubiquitous term now. It's like you can have cheese brats, beer brats, jalapeno brats, chicken brats, like all of these different things. But I love the brat pick. I think it's a criminally underrated cookout food outside of the state of Wisconsin, or really just the Midwest too. I think the Midwest. I think in general. Yeah. All right, brats. It's a perfect pick to lead us off in this draft. All right. So protein off the board first, Nick. Your first pick of the show, of your whole career here on the 10-week career of draft day. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, so I'm probably not going to be as great as everyone else has been about setting up their picks, but my pick is in. So Wendi took the protein first with beer brat, and I feel like then the only logical explanation for the second pick is just beer. Got to have beer in a cookout.
Wow.
So, I mean, what's the point in having a cookout if you're not having a few drinks? So I'm going with beer for number 2.
Our first shakeup of the draft. But I think
that's a steal. That's a steal.
See, this is crazy because this is the thing. I think I set up my draft and I'm like, okay, I got to set up like my tiers because I got to make sure that, I can have one from each category. I can make sure I can guarantee myself. I'm like, I'm going to go hard meats in the top end of the draft. Cause I'm like, that has to be the first thing off the board is you got to get the protein in there.
Can I interrupt and just say phrasing?
Yeah, I know what I said. All right. I'm well aware of what I said.
He's a big fan of the hard meats.
I'm a hard meat man.
Hard meat man.
The beer, I think it's if quarterbacks are the proteins, beer comes in and that's Devontae Smith. That's the top wide receiver in the draft. It's maybe not the franchise builder for a whole cookout because obviously I think with cookout, the food is a major component of it, but you're not going to do a lot if you don't have guys like beer on your roster. So Nick, excellent pick.
The other thing is too, and this is totally inside with my own family, but my in-laws would have killed me if I didn't take beer with my first pick because I don't think they know how to like do social gatherings without.
Oh, same.
So it was kind of like a forced pick there as well.
I can understand it. As someone who has to pay for all of their alcohol for his wedding coming up, there's been a serious discussion about how much beer exactly we need to buy for the family, because it's more than just the regular Continent Gathering beer amount. It's kicked up a notch. All right, Todd, we've got an alcohol and we've got a protein off of the board. Which way are you gonna go?
Producer Nick, the pick is in. While we did say that brats were underrated, that was going to be that. I had that as the number one protein on my board. So with that being gone, producer Nick obviously taking the most popular cookout beverage off the board. I'm going to jump in and take the highest. The highest remaining pick on the board has to be potato salad, of course. So that's where we're going to go. And there's the nice, good cold potato salad, but there's nothing better than a cookout sun-baked potato salad that's been sitting out there all afternoon, cold on the bottom from the ice, and you've got the potato salad a little warm on top from the sun. Perfect. We're going potato salad.
Okay. Question though. Oil-based or mayonnaise-based?
Yeah, here
doesn't matter, and I
asking
don't
the
care.
same thing. Mustard or mayo-based?
To me, it does not matter. I am not picky. You can put hard-boiled eggs in it if you want to or not. I don't care. Just don't let me find a damn raisin or craisin or any kind of fruit in it. We're good. We're good.
That should be a criminal offense.
It should.
Todd's right.
Yeah.
Look, we've done a lot of cultural appropriation in America over the years, but raisins and potato salad is one of the worst things that we've ever done as a country. All right. I cannot believe Todd went potato salad with the first side off of the board. And so Nick going with an alcohol and Todd going aside. I'm sitting here and I feel like I've just won the draft here in the first two rounds.
You said that about vanilla ice cream as well. So let's call it out.
Look, just because everyone else didn't get it doesn't mean that it wasn't right. Nick, go ahead and hit the sounder for this one because these are easy. I agree. I think the brat would have been the brat is at near the top of my big board. I have one above it though, and this is just personal preference because I'm more of a red meat kind of guy. But burgers is my number one cookout food. I feel like the issue with brats is you can only pile so much on it before it starts to become too much, you know? And there is an epidemic in this country right now of hot dog buns not being big enough to support brats.
Amen.
The buns are too small. The buns are too. Once you put the
nobody likes small buns.
No. And then when you put look, there's a lot of imagery here. I understand. You can hit the phrasing button if you want. I get it. I'm flying through this head first. But once you get that brat in the bun, you've taken up 95% of your square footage of the bun. And it's so hard. It's so hard to pile on what you want in there, and it makes it just a little too difficult for me. That's why I have it second. But with the burger, you get the bun and the patty, and it's like a blank canvas. Like paint me like one of your French girls right on the bun, and just create a work of art, and you're good to go. So I will take burgers with my first pick.
Solid. That's a solid.
Yeah. So Maggie is asking if I've ever put peanut butter on my burgers, and I sort of want to call the authorities.
No, I'm absolutely not allowed to.
It's so good. It's so good.
I like it
Maggie,
with you put a little pickled jalapeno on there too. Nice little spice there. You get
with the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you call the cops, If you call the cops, Dan, and say that I'm making peanut butter burgers, they're going to show up with an appetite.
Dan, I'm not totally with you on calling the cops on peanut butter on burgers, but I've had it and it's not for me. So
Why is Nick here? Why do we have Nick on?
Good question, Todd. I don't know.
Well, you're a natural. You're a natural.
Okay, my second pick, and I think I only made this my second pick in the draft. I pushed this to the second round to just add to its value because it deserves to be a first round pick. And I thought it's exactly where Todd was going with it when he was talking about sides. But I'm pushing this into the second round and getting extreme value out of the second round. Nick, go ahead and hit it. Mac and cheese, baby. Mac and cheese is the ultimate cookout side dish. I thought this would be met with applause. Really? We're cooled on mac and cheese?
I'm not saying it's not great. I love mac and cheese. I just don't know how many times I've been at a cookout. I'm thinking things at a park. And a hot side at a park like mac and cheese, I just don't see it. I see macaroni salad.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean you don't see it? Like you don't see it show up there?
Not as often.
Then you've been to the wrong cookouts, brother.
Clearly. Clearly.
No, and Labo's asking. No, it's not macaroni salad. No. I'm talking about elbow macaroni noodles, cooked fully and hot, drenched in melted cheese, and then a layer of fried cheese, like toasted cheese on the top that you have to break through like you're Indiana Jones trying to like excavate out the Ark of the Covenant. That's where it's at, man. Like you bring a big silver tray of that, you cook it up before you leave and you bring it in and it stays warm like that. That's the ultimate. I think it's the ultimate one.
See, I worry about the work. Like it seems like a lot of work to do at a tailgate. It sounds amazing. Don't get me wrong.
It is a dish. It is a dish that you have to prep beforehand,
and it's not going to travel well. And it's going to sit outside on a picnic table all afternoon and be just as good in 3 hours.
Be warm. You just talked about your potato salad, which is traditionally a
unbaked
cold
potato
dish.
salad. I'm aware.
That's
taking something that's cold that we're making warm. You're taking something warm that thinks the sun's just going to keep it hot and toasty and melty all afternoon. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
It's going to keep it warm. You clearly have not had the right mac and cheese.
Producer Nick, the pick is in. We've only got an hour, Dan. We could talk about mac and cheese for years. I am going to go. I feel like the top two proteins again are off the board. Nick's the only one that's got one left, and I've got a few that I can go with here. I'm going to take the best remaining beverage off the table, which is going to be seltzers, hard and soft, because we know you, boy. I don't drink. I've got the Pellegrino going here, but I want everybody else to have a good time. Bring in your Trulies, bring in your Claws, whatever the hell else they've got on the market now, trying to make up the segment of the market that they lost out on when I quit drinking, just trying to recoup that money. So I'm going seltzers.
The Todd Varney margin.
Yeah.
I want to hear from everybody else. What do you guys think? Because I have opinions on the seltzer.
Okay, so my opinion is two-sided. I like them because you can drink a lot of them and not get super drunky pants. But they mess up my stomach. The carbonation, I just can't. I want to be farty and burpy the entire game. So I may have to pass on the seltzers.
Nick, you a seltzer guy?
I'm not, but I'm also not a huge drinker. So when I do drink, it's something like I like a lot of different drinks, but I'm always going to go with what I like the most. And so I'm just going to stick with a beer at that point. I'm not like anti-seltzer, but because I don't drink a whole lot, when I do, I'm not going to pick that because I'm going to go with something I'd prefer over it.
My controversial yet brave opinion is that hard seltzers are incredibly overrated. And the hard seltzer market is ballooning. Maybe like a bubble. And pretty soon, the hard seltzer bubble is going to pop. We're going to have a hard seltzer recession. And you know what takes its place? The pre-canned cocktail, baby. That is my jam. That is my absolute jam. They are better than seltzers. Every seltzer I've ever tried, non-alcoholic or alcoholic, I don't get any flavor. They all just taste like flat pop, and I can't stand them. I see the appeal, and I would love to be a part of it, but I can't get down with it.
Well, I agree with you that the market absolutely is ballooning right now. There's millions of people that disagree with you that there's no flavor in there. And people love them. And again, I'm thinking about the ease of transportation. You don't have to show up with a mini bar. You're not making some weird punch beforehand that's going to get flies in it. That's a brand new market, Dan, that I'm not willing to talk about. We've got a weird hand behind Wendi there, just randomly flipping lights on and off. She looks like an angel now. It was
the stage hand.
Sorry. I got late.
All right.
But yeah, I look, if you've been to a cookout in the last couple of years, there's not seltzers there, it's not a cookout. So
that's very fair point.
I've seen more hard seltzers than mac and cheese.
Again, you're going to the wrong cookouts. All right, Nick, you were our first. You picked our first alcohol or beverage off of the board. You're sitting here in your second round. You need some food. Which way are you going to go?
Yeah, so I've got maybe a little bit more of an unconventional pick and not something that I would ever personally want to cook at my cookout because I am lazy and not highly educated on this, but my pick is in. So I feel like it's one of the perfect foods if you personally are not responsible for it, and I'm going to go with ribs. They are incredibly difficult to make if they're not like pre-prepared as far as making them on a grill. So that's why I would never personally want to be in charge of them. But, obviously brats and burgers were 1 and 2 for meats. And so when that was gone, I was thinking hot dogs, but I mean, that's again on the easier side. If you you don't have to understand how a grill works really to grill a hot dog. And while hot dogs are great, brats and burgers are still better, and ribs are clearly superior. They're just a little bit trickier to make. So I'm going to go with ribs for mine.
Honestly, Nick might have played us here with this whole thing because to score beer in the first round and then to get ribs in the second round, that is BDE, man. And that is because that's what ribs are. It is come in and you're swinging that thing around, and it's like, look at what I did. I didn't come here with just some ballpark Franks and threw them on a little charcoal stove. I invested time and energy into creating this, and if you get them out there and you bring it, you've won the whole cookout. Solid pick, Nick. Man, Real quick, I want to give a shout out, JJ. Coming back, usually one of our guys from the UK. What up, JJ? Death to the Super League. Wendi.
Also, shout out Mama Westendorf.
I shouted out Mama West. I'm ready to pre-order some Mama Westendorf mac and cheese.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna get that hooked up, and we'll see what the shipping is to Detroit for a thing of mac and cheese. All right. Wendi, you have got the position here to finish up our second round, and then the third round, you get the back-to-back picks here. You took brats in the first round, so I'm interested to see how you handle these back-to-back picks here. But go ahead, take us away.
All right, Nick, pick us in. All right, I'm gonna throw a little curveball in here because I'm a huge chocolate/dessert girl. So my pick is gonna be the brownie. Special or not?
Whoa!
Nice pick.
Wow! In the second round, that is.
Round. You gotta, wet your sweet tooth mid tailgate to just, get the party started, and then go back to the other.
Here's the question. You did say special or not. You are in Colorado. I'm in Michigan. Two places where 420 means just a little bit extra. Have you ever been to a cookout there where somebody brings a special brownie as a treat for everybody?
Not that I've ever personally noticed. But yes,
Stay high. I like it.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't noticed because I'm usually just eating them constantly. I'm just constantly
yeah.
Brownie. Okay, so wait, what's if you are bringing a brownie? Like if you personally, Wendy, are deciding to bring brownies to the cookout, what's the direction that you go? What's the go-to brownie that you're going with? Just a straight chocolate brownie? This is the classic?
Oh, man. So there's something to be said about the classic brownie, but growing up, we would always make the scotcheroos with like the peanut butter, caramel chocolate. So that's also kind of a good one. But I think I gotta go classic because that's more generally speaking the fan favorite.
Like give me a person that doesn't like chocolate brownies, and I will give you a person that is a liar. Because everybody likes that.
My boyfriend does not like chocolate. He does not like chocolates, which I'm at the advantage. I get to eat all.
See, that is a heady play. You gotta pair up with somebody who doesn't like the things that you like, and you like the things that they don't like. Symbiosis. All right, Wendy, get to kick off. So brats and brownies, are we gonna stay on the alliteration train with your third round pick with a B?
Unfortunately not, but Nick, my pick is in. All right, everybody, I don't care who it is, loves some chips and guac. So chips and guac are my third pick.
I hate guacamole.
That tracks me, man. Honestly, you tell me you're always saying how I'm the guy that hates things everyone loves. That's you. Come on.
I'm sorry,
man. I went to Chipotle for lunch today, and some people are asking for guac, and I'm like, look, man, unless you specifically ask me for guac, I'm not getting guac from Chipotle. I'm not hating on anybody. This isn't a peanut butter burger situation, okay? I understand the appeal. I understand that I am in the vast minority with this pick. So I'm not going to be ragging on anybody for it. It's just I would never take guac. But Lambo's asking, that does not take all dips off the board. We've got plenty of dips still sitting out there. Guac. All right. I still would. I just never thought that in the third round either. Crazy. Okay. Nick, you, sir, are on the board in the third round. Which way are you going?
All right. Well, I've got my drink and I've got my protein. So decide now. So my pick is in. So I know this is mostly up to personal preference, but I'm going to go with the fruit salad. And when I say fruit salad, I guess this is what I consider it. Because I know there might be a few different interpretations, but I'm talking like you just take a bunch of different fruits, throw them in a bowl, and that's it. Like you don't add anything to it. Just grapes, strawberries, blueberries, whatever it is. But fruit salad is going to be my third pick.
Nick, I hate you so much right now. I really hate you right now.
Wait a minute. Were you really about to take fruit salad, Todd?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You act surprised when you think that something Todd does is odd, but isn't that kind of like the MO of Todd?
Look, here's my thing with fruit salad. I think a lot of those fruits are better solo. They're better by themselves. I like grapes and I like blueberries and I love grapes and I'm not a huge watermelon fan, but I'd much rather eat watermelon solo than in a mixture, because once it sits out there for more than 10 minutes, they all start to get a little soggy, and then all the juices just start to melt all over each other, and it's this weird it's the first thing the wasps are going for is the fruit salad. But Nick,
I'm telling you, any cookout, you've got to have a good fruit salad there. You got to. And if you like certain ones or you don't, dude, you pick those out. You don't want watermelon, or someone puts cantaloupe in there, or honeydew melon. What the hell is that doing to my fruit salad? I'm throwing that shit out anyways. It doesn't matter. I want the grapes. I want the pineapple. I want a little bit of watermelon. That's where I'm living, and that's what I'm going to eat out of there.
Right, but you know what I want to do, Todd? I'm coming to the cookout to eat food. I'm not coming to play the claw game with my plate where I'm trying to snag all of the fruit that I don't want and flicking them off. What?
You don't have hands to grab the fruit you want?
Why? Okay, but you're making the biggest mess. It's the juice is not worth the squeeze. Pun incredibly intended.
When I'm looking for a dessert, while I do love a brownie, special or not, when I'm looking for a dessert, I'm not trying to eat something heavy like that. I want a nice fruit salad in there. Just a couple of grapes, maybe a berry. Oh, get out of town. Get out of town.
The berry did it to him.
Mm-hmm. Todd, give us your third round pick.
What are you laughing at, Nick? God, I'm going to roll on the fly on this one. Picks in. I was going to save this one for the final round since everybody else has their protein in, but I do want a little bit more time just to scan the old noggin up here, see if I can come up with a really good dessert that I want to go with instead of the fruit salad. So I'm going to jump in with my protein right now, and we're going to go with chicken drummies. They're always classic at a party. You can do different flavors, different sauces, different marinades. Everybody kind of gets their own little flavor on them. So that's where I'm going to go.
I can respect that. I feel like it's so hard to cook drummies on a grill though. It's a little bit more challenging. Does that factor into, because I had my other protein that I had on there was just barbecue chicken, a good barbecue chicken breast or shredded barbecue chicken, because drummies for me, I just feel I've never successfully tried to grill drummies, so I'm legitimately asking you how you take care of that at a cookout. What are you doing?
Don't undercook them. That's really the key. Just don't undercook them.
How are you cooking them? How are you cooking them?
I mean, the easy way is always just throw them in a little marinade of some Italian dressing and then throw them on the grill for a while, flip them over every couple of minutes, wait till they get a good crisp outside to them. And then you can, relather if you want to with a different sauce. You can do a different marinade if the dressing's not for you. You just got to keep an eye on them. I mean, I'll tell you this, they're a hell of a lot easier to do than Nick's ribs.
It's very true.
I disagree. I really do. The thing I worry about with wings is that they're gonna fall or get stuck in the grill. The ribs, you throw those on the grill. And
How big are the gaps in your grapes, dude?
I mentioned, Dan, I've got for my grill at home. I've got this like nice little tray for smaller things that like vegetables, something like that. And then you don't have to worry about it falling through the grate.
Right, but that's just one more. That's one more thing you got to add on to it. I think the ribs are.
I've never lost a chicken drummy through a grill. I've never in my entire life.
But you're trying to you're trying to reach in, and like the smaller part gets like it like falls down, and then you're trying to plug it out of there. Ribs, man, like you're carrying those things like it's a toddler, like you're just carrying it around everywhere.
No, you're making up problems now.
I don't think I'm making up problems. All right, but so chicken drummies off the board. Brings it to me for my third and fourth round pick. I still gotta get a drink in here somewhere, and I'm not ready to take my dessert yet. My first pick is in. Nick, you can go hit it. I've already been pimping it earlier on in the show, but I think the canned cocktail is the drink of the future for cookouts. Because like what Todd was saying about like bringing in a mini bar or all these other things, like, oh, you got to get mixes, you got to get all these different bottles of liquor. But now, like, I can go and I can get cans of rum and Coke and just drink those out of a can. It takes all of it away. I am a huge liquor fan. I actually prefer my liquor drinks over beer just because they fill me up too fast. So if I'm doing a cookout and I'm trying to like maintain a buzz throughout the day, I'll sip on a couple of canned cocktails. And I'll be set, man. So I'll take canned cocktails there.
Well, so Dan, I got to ask, because first of all, are canned cocktails, are they kind of a newer phenomenon?
I feel like they are. I may just be like late to the scene, man. But the canned cocktail for me, like the last couple of years, has been making a comeback or making an appearance, and it's like Dogecoin, baby. Get in on the ground floor now, and we're gonna ride this to the moon.
So then the next question I have is, because I've never had one, so like, are they like a good substitute for like making your own? Like,
oh yeah.
You're not losing any quality with it.
You're not losing. If anything, it's better. Like the rum and Cokes from Cutwater Brewing. They are so much better because the cola is like naturally made. Like you're not drinking a crap ton of Coca-Cola and like, getting all, it's still not the best for you, obviously, but it's a little bit better. And just not having to like have two bottles and pour them in, mix it in, like just being able to crack a can of liquor for me is great. And my fiance is making a great point. It makes you sound like I have a problem. It sure does, but it's not a problem until I admit it. So,
well, I mean, I'm all for it as long as you're not losing any quality within the drink, because that's really where you're at with it.
Nick, do yourself a favor. Go to your store, treat yourself this weekend, and I'd love just to hear what you say. I would just love to hear where your opinion is on it.
All right.
Is there anything for the non-drinkers at your party, Dan, by chance? Just curious.
Well, is there anything for the non-drinkers at Nick's party?
Beer doesn't count. That's
come on.
There's non-alcoholic beer.
Well, then you know what the non-alcoholic is the how about a non-alcoholic canned cocktail? It's a can of Coke. How about that? There you go. All right, fourth round.
Wow. Okay.
Fourth round here. It is. I just went with a Bacardi one that I found at the store the other day. I'm trying that out. All right. I need to go aside here. I'm stuck between two. And yeah, I think I know. I think if I'm being true to my heart, I know where I want to go with this. I know I'm not going to try to get cute. So Nick, hit it. cornbread. Good homemade cornbread. Cornbread in a tray, cornbread muffins. I don't care. Give me cornbread.
As your dessert?
No, that's not it. Are you kidding me? That is not a dessert. That is a side.
Although there are times where it can pass as a dessert if made right.
I thought you took mac and cheese as a side.
There's 5 rounds, Todd. Something's going to get doubled up. And I'm doubling up on the sides.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Dan, are you somebody that has to have like something with your cornbread, like honey, like or do you just
No, dude, if it's a good cornbread should be able to be eaten by itself.
Yes, agreed.
If you need to throw a whole bunch of crap on it to make it good cornbread, then it ain't good cornbread. It's got to be moist, not too dense, and it's got to have a certain sweetness to it, like not cupcake sweet, but just enough sweetness in it to really turn around. And it's the perfect kind of like mop up, like after everything else is off the plate, just kind of scoop that cornbread around and just make it into like a little cornbread like taco thing. So cornbread. I was between. There's one. I'll see the rest of how the rest of the draft falls here, but there was another side that I was willing to go with there that might have not maybe look as much of a fatty, but regardless, Todd, you now are on the board, sir, in the 4th round.
Well, the good news is Dan brought up a great point. There are 5 rounds. I was thinking there was only 4, which means that something that I was so upset that I had to neglect earlier in the draft, it's still there. Nick the picks in. Baked beans. No. Yes. We got them. They're there. I want bacon in them. Some people might put a little beef in it. Good. Load it up. Put whatever you want to in there. I don't care. There could be enough in there to make them considered a protein for me. Whatever you want to do to them, I'm not going to discriminate. I want a spoonful of baked beans on my plate at the cookout. Perfect.
Todd, I hate you. I hate you.
That you know what? It took you a hell of a lot longer to get there than it does most people, Wendy. So welcome to the party.
I know.
You held out 47 minutes and 30 seconds. Good job.
That's pretty good.
Congratulations.
It's another one. Todd, you can have all the baked beans you want because I don't like beans in general. Like any kind of bean, like in chili, in
Nick, will you put up Ben's comment about the bath?
Wait, which comment? That's, I'm only trying to do like 8 different.
Yeah, no, I got you there, Nick. Taking a bath in the baked beans.
That's fantastic.
Like refried.
I will join you in that bath, Lambo. Me and you in a tub full of beans. Pants optional. Let's go. Bring your coffee mug.
Let's get weird. All right, it's another one. I respect its place in the conversation, but I'm not a bean guy. But I think with where baked beans fall in the zeitgeist of cookout food, hell of a pick in the 4th round.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that.
Nick, sir, 4th round pick.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna get my second beverage in here.
Whoa.
Well, hey, cookouts, if you do it right, it's typically a long event. Mm-hmm. It's done in nice warm weather, and if you're going to be doing drinking, it's important. So my pick is in. It's going to be considered lame, but if you're doing it right, you got to have water.
That is the lamest pick since Dan took vanilla ice cream.
But at least I didn't take water on Todd. I at least waited until near the end of the draft to take it.
That's true, but it's still pretty fucking lame.
It's like I'm drafting a guidance counselor, like a high school guidance counselor.
You're the one that's on the show, Dan.
Yes, we all. Yes, Nick, we all get it. Water is the building block of life. We get it. Come on, man. Go drink out of the dirty public water fountain like everybody else.
Hey, I was asked if there was something for non-alcohol drinkers, and now I've got my non-alcohol drink.
Well, I'm not coming to your party anymore. That's for sure.
That's fair, Todd.
I don't think Nick was going to invite you anyway.
No, but Annie was.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably true, because all Todd was going to do was make fun of me the entire time. So,
all right. So Wendy, here at the near the end of our draft, you get the position of choice here, where you get to just pick whatever you want for your last two picks, because you essentially get to be the first one. You're the first one finished. So the board has fallen how it has, and you get two picks back to back to finish up whatever you want without any intrusion. So take us away. You've got two picks here back to back to round it out. Where are you going to go?
Oh, man. So I haven't picked a beverage yet, and I've been trying to think of a good one.
Well, Nick just took water, the sleeper of the draft.
I know. Nick, my pick is in. All right. It's not as lame as water. It's teetering on water level, but I got to go with lemonade.
Solid. Nick, she just Shaq balls in your face dunk. That is the way to go. If you want hydration at a cookout, it's not water, it's lemonade. Or you want to get froggy, you go Arnold Palmer.
That's who.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're having a good time.
Well, just to address Maggie here, I don't know who drinks Bud Light. I mean, I don't know who's drinking that, so it's not at my cookout.
That is honestly, I think maybe one of the best. I think it's one of the best value drink picks.
Ben brings up a good point
because the water, the beer, the hard seltzer, the liquor, like exactly. You don't go to a cookout. You don't go to a cookout to have like a schwitz and be healthy on a detox. You go to debase yourself, man.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But lemonade in the fourth round, baller pick. Baller.
Good pick.
That's great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's where it's basically that's my canned cocktail. It's Bacardi and lemonade. So
yeah, there you go.
I honestly I didn't even have lemonade on my radar. I was like trying to think of like all the stuff at a cookout. I'm like beer, liquor, seltzers, and pop. I'm like that's all I ever see. But lemonade, sneaky pick. I like that.
It's a winner.
The only thing I think you went wrong is not picking it with your fifth pick right now, because that is huge value to fall to the fifth round. But still,
I know.
Big.
Yeah.
But you got the fifth pick now still. So where are you going to head with that? How are you going to round it out?
All right, I'm going to do another side dish, and Nick, my pick is in. All right. Potato salad is definitely my number one, but a close second to that is coleslaw. So I got to rock the coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
What kind of base we going here?
Yeah, that's a huge question.
I like the mayo base.
Okay.
A little mayo, not too heavy, just a little light mayo.
I can play with that. That's fun. Do you like it longer and stringy, or do you like it like a hard chop?
I like a hard chop. I like a little rustic. Yeah.
Okay. I can play with that.
It shouldn't be like eating spaghetti.
No.
It's got to be a hard chop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that. That's huge. And then the thing is, you take some of that coleslaw, throw that bad boy on a brat. Wendy stacked those picks. Excellent. All right. Gosh, yeah, that's a hell of a draft from Wendy. Great job. Nick, you have got your last pick here. Water is off the table. So are you going with like Pedialyte or like what's the next one?
Well, I did have a specific pick for number 5 here, but given all the pushback and ridicule that I got from my previous pick, I'm going to change it up to.
What was it going to be? Oxygen?
Look at this.
Todd?
Look at this Lambo coming in. Like,
yo, I'm telling you, Ben and I are the same person.
Simpatico.
All right, well, my last pick is in. All right, so I had to get a dessert in here, and again, this might seem unconventional, but it's one of my favorite desserts. I'm going to go with the cookie cake.
Ooh.
Okay.
Solid pick. I like that. Yeah.
There's not as much ridicule this time. I feel.
Now we're gonna circle back to what you were gonna do because I'm interested to see how it now compares to cookie cake. Do you have a specific place that you get your cookie cake from?
No, I've yet to come across a place that makes a bad one. I'm sure bad ones exist, but I guess I usually see it. Although I will say the one thing that I am pretty picky with about cookie cakes is sometimes when they have frosting on it, like if the whole thing is frosted, there's too much. And so I'm looking either for a like minimal frosting, like in a design, or no frosting at all, because I found that a lot of the cookie cakes that are completely frosted have too much, and I'm scraping it off because it takes away from the rest of the cookie. Like
you got to go like Cookie Puss, or like
whoa,
hey,
this is a family show.
No, like you get like a Cookie Puss or Fudgy the Whale or like Nutty the Chocolate Ghost, one of those from Corvell. Like, isn't it Corvell makes them?
I'm unaware.
Nick, don't worry about the scroll. Go find a picture of Cookie Puss and throw it up here.
Yeah, Google
Todd,
Cookie Puss.
Put into my Google.
It's not a bad thing.
Use an incognito
Animals,
window,
you
please.
God-forsaken animals. Cookie Puss is a lover of children. Children love him. Carvel. Thank you, Kelsey. Carvel with the Cookie Puss. It's a fun name and it's fun to eat. Todd, your fifth
We're
round
all
pick.
having fun. We're having a good time.
We're having a good time, whether
This
you
is
like
fun.
it or not. Your fifth round pick. Thank you. Cookie Puss serves 12 to 14 mother effers.
Oh, what the hell is that nose? Somebody shows up to my cookout
This is
with
an
that
ice
fucking
cream
thing?
cone, mother.
Oh, no. You show up to my
mother trucker.
You want to talk about calling the cops? Show up at my house with that thing, calling the cops. You can't take that into a school zone. Are you kidding me?
No.
What do you mean you can't take it into a school? What? 12 to 14? That is a small private school class size, man.
No.
In there, and a bunch of Catholic school kids in third grade are going to be all over that.
You're going to go on. You're going to go into a national database for sexual offenders if you take that to a school.
I cannot believe I am the only person standing up for the Cookie Puss.
You are.
What about Fudgy? Nick, look up Fudgy the Whale. Todd, make your pick. Nick, please give us Fudgy the Whale. Todd, make
and
your
Nick,
pick.
while you're doing that, Nick, the pick is in. So I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to describe it for you. It's like pieces of angel food cake with a whipped cream kind of frosting, and usually it's got like berries mixed in with it, and
like
it's
a parfait.
It's kind of not quite, but yeah, it's like a deconstructed angel food cake basically.
Yeah,
and it's delicious.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I think Wendy's right. I think it might be called a parfait. I know a parfait is supposed to contain yogurt.
I'm actually looking at something and it's calling it an angel food cake berry trifle, but I'm unfamiliar.
Trifle.
Yeah.
That's yes. I am.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the word trifle when it comes to desserts only
Yes.
my ex-girlfriends, those trifling asses. So I wasn't sure what that meant. I was uncomfortable using it in this context. But since you guys know, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. The classic angel food cake, berry trifle, if you will.
Nice. Look at that, Fudgy the Whale. You tell me, you find me a dad that wouldn't love that for a Father's Day gift. Fudgy the Whale.
That's acceptable. I like that. That's okay.
What's wrong with that?
It's better than the other one that we threw up.
Yeah. No.
What's wrong with Cookie Puss? He's a big cookie.
No.
All right, so the trifle off the board. So our last pick here, I don't have any dessert. And there's so many sides here that are waiting here, screaming to be picked out. But yeah, I know where I'm going to go with this. I was kind of worried when Todd was starting to describe it that he was going to take this, but I know what my fifth pick is going to be. Nick, you can hit it. I guess you could say sort of an American white trash take on a trifle, and that is dirt cake.
Solid.
Crushed up Oreos in the whipped cream, and then if you give me dirt cake that does not include gummy worms, I'm throwing it in your face because that's what makes it dirt cake. I don't care what anybody says. It's not dirt cake without the gummy worms. Dirt cake. As Mr. Irrelevant.
I like it. That takes me back. I used to have that for like birthdays. I would make my mom make that in like a big like flower pot.
Yeah, you gotta do it in something.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just do it in a regular bowl. You gotta go big with dirt cake. All right, so that is our draft, guys. I think there are tons of. We could have gone 2 more rounds and still had people waiting to get picked. If I could give you one more pick real quick around as an undrafted free agent, around the board really quick, where do you go? I want to start with Nick because I'm interested. I'm really, really interested to see what the one was that he passed on.
Well, so I assumed that this wouldn't get nearly as much ridicule as water, but I was scared to take it just on the basis that it might still be ridiculed. But you go to a cookout, you're there to have a good time, you need some entertainment. I was going to pick music.
Would not have. I was waiting for someone to go that route. Nick, I would have applauded you. I would have taken my hat off for you, man.
I should have saved water for the last round, especially knowing Todd and Dan. Like, there was no way that you two were going to pick that. But
no.
Yeah. All right. Well, if I could make an amendment to a
pick,
music,
that's a hell of a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because good music can make honestly, it's more bad music can ruin a cookout more than good music makes the cookout. So you've got to have that covered if you're doing to do it. Yeah, you're right. That you did. You redeemed yourself with it. Wendy, if you had one more undrafted free agent, where are you going?
Cornhole. I think. Definitely cornhole.
Yep, another good pick.
Excellent pick. Todd.
Positive mental attitudes. Yeah, no, I don't want any negative. I don't want any negative Nancy's coming to the cookout. I want everyone there to have a good time. Just be positive, lift each other up, and have a good time.
Why are you the way that you are?
I mean, if we're gonna start looking at music as a good pick, then
it is a good
mental attitudes, having a good time. Pick. Okay, Mr. Salty Pants. You want to keep that attitude up? You're not invited.
I don't want to be invited.
No berry trifle for you, Dan. No berry trifle.
You don't get any of my cookie puss.
Nope. Yep, gonna do just fine without it.
If I was gonna go a food, here, and if I was gonna go food, it would have to be buffalo chicken dip. But if I'm going the other way, I don't think anything else I could pick competes with what you guys already picked out of the music and the cornhole. Because I think that's like one tier and then every 30 feet of crap and then whatever else you want to pick out of that. But if I had to go with a non-food or non-consumable item, it's a shot ski. A cookout with a shot ski just kind of change. Like if you walk in there with that, that's quite literal BDE. You're bringing in the BDE with the shot ski.
All right, you got to educate me on this. I don't have any idea what that is.
Big dick energy.
Wait. Were you asking for BDE or shot ski?
Shot ski.
I've got one upstairs.
What Todd described on what he earlier in the show called a family show when he ripped on you for the cookie plus.
I've got one upstairs. If I thought ahead, I would have brought it down. But it is a ski, like a snow ski that you paint and do a bunch of stuff to, and you glue shot glasses to it, and you fill them up, and you have a bunch of people take the shots at once.
All right, yeah, I'm familiar with that. I guess I just didn't know that's what the terminology was for it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right. That hell of a friggin' draft, guys. This was. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Lavo. I'm surprised that what we were talking about there made him run out of the room crying and not Cookie Puss or Fudgy the Whale. But that does it for our draft, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I really appreciate it. Everybody here, give you a chance to promote yourself, let people know where they can find you, anything you want to let people know to check out. Wendi, we'll start with you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at WendyLuhu3. I write all things Brewers for Wisconsin Sports Heroic, so I'm always up to something fun over there.
Awesome. Glad to have you on. I'm so glad you're able to join us for it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For sure. Nick, are you doing anything other than taking care of us assholes?
No, I don't do Twitter. I don't do Facebook. I don't do social media. So.
All right. So if you want to see or feel Nick's presence, it's only on our shows. So that should be enough of a draw to bring you to our shows. As producer Nick being the puppet master behind all of them. And let's give a big round of applause to Nick for jumping in on the fly as our backup goalie, coming in and doing it. Totally appreciate it. Todd, you want to let people know where they can find you and what you want to pimp?
At the Todd V on Twitter, and we've got a new episode of Whiskaholics coming out on Thursday, and Thursday night, big episode coming up. Mashup with the crew over at Open Book. Mm-hmm. Dan, Jimmy, and I from Lombardi's Bar will be doing Open Bar Trivia Night, which should be an absolute disaster.
It'll be
if the group chat trying to put this together is any indication, it is going to be a big old steaming pile. So be sure to stop by and check that out. I'm sure there will be no name calling, lots of positive mental attitudes, and Jimmy will probably be doing something stupid. Jimmy will. Yeah, it's going to be Jimmy.
Yeah, it'll be Jimmy. I'm on Twitter as well, right there at DK All the Way. You can find all of my stuff over there. You can find me. We got one more episode of this draft day next week. I think we've already got it set. We're going to be doing cookies for next week's draft, so that'll be a nice way to end off draft day and this run of shows.
Dan's first round pick will be Cookie Puss.
It just may well be, mother trucker. But so tune in next week for that last episode of Draft Day. Like Todd said, open bar on Thursday, 6:30 Lambeau time. And then you can also join me, Todd, and a whole host of other people Thursday night of the draft next week, starting at 8 o'clock, our Game On Wisconsin draft live stream. I'll be there all Thursday night. Starting at 8 o'clock. Thursday on, so that we get the Packers pick in there, be able to break that down a little bit. So make sure you tune in Thursday for the draft. Just put us on in the background. Would greatly appreciate it. Also, would greatly appreciate if you would take the time, if you have not done so already, go on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit like. Make sure that you're following us on YouTube. It's the best way to check out our content. And also on Twitter as well. Follow ourselves at Game On Wisconsin, at Game On WI. Check out the website as well. So for producer Nick down here, for Wendi and Todd, Dan Connick signing off from Draft Day, everybody. Cheers, and until next time, go Pack, go, everyone.